starting for Wild Turtle. The last time TSM subbed out their AD carry, it was Wild Turtle for Chaos.
Right.
Back in Season 3,
MLGs.
Wild Turtle got a pentakill in his first game, and that led to his entire career on TSM. This situation feels a little bit different because it does seem like TSM is willing to kind of play around with both of them, let them motivate each other, and then when Worlds hits, they will see who the best one is. It's not like the Chaos situation where Wild Turtle plays 1 week and then he leaves the house. I feel like they're really working with both of these guys, but for this game, of course, it's Keith, his first start ever on TSM.
Well, if it has anything, the composition to do with Loco's haircut, we're going to get a crazy one from TSM.
Yeah, he's too frazzled.
He's got the frazzle cut going on. But probably still get good picks in for the team. We'll see what they have. Also, as the analyst was saying, TDK, kind of an unknown factor here with their players coming in. Who's actually been able to scrim against these guys as well? They have actually only had a few scrims of their own with the full 5 team. So far, it is looking good as they took down the #1 looking team, Dignitas, and now get to fight the #1 team.
Heavy band focus on Seraph, for sure here.
Yeah. That Vlad was one of the things that carried their game last week.
Vlad and Rumble have been 2 of the champions Seraph has used to much success. Huge amounts of damage dealt the champions with those 2. Really fast pick and ban phase here, but the thing that stands out to me is the Sivir pick by TSM. It is the most played champion for Keith in solo queue since TSM started trying him out, because it was one of his least played throughout the last 2 seasons, and something he needed to pick up immediately if he wanted to play in the LCS. It was left up on the board. It was not first picked by TDK, and then rather than let it go back through to Emperor, which I'm pretty sure he would have picked immediately, he was 5-1-10 on it last week against Dignitas. It's going into Keith, but this is his first start, and it's on a champion that he hasn't actually played that much, aside from in his last few weeks.
A lot of the times we saw Keith play with Team Liquid, a few more resources than not were put into him. Usually a sub kind of is just there on the team composition. Maybe he can do that with the Sivir, do his own thing, but still provide with the ultimate, and they don't have to put too many resources into him. Make it easier for the team to do what they want.
It's a utility AD carry.
Absolutely,
sure.
Absolutely. Santorin with the Gragas, he is Nidalee is banned out. We just saw Rush wreak havoc on that. And Santorin had already been playing it a few weeks ahead of time as well.
Yeah.
Getting ready for that Rune Glaive, maybe. Bjergsen, Nautilus picked up, and we have Thresh as well. So that's going to be Dyrus is in the top lane. Another Nautilus to the top side. See the last few picks here coming from TDK.
This time it's a Nautilus top without a carry jungler and also with a somewhat more utility-focused AD carry. So whatever Bjergsen picks here, it needs to bring a whole bunch of damage, or TSM will have to win this game early on. Especially against a Lulu, who might go mid lane and can shield damage. You need a lot of burst to go through that.
I was going to say the most picked champion in the NALCS right now.
Azir.
Possibly, maybe.
Yeah, United States of Shurima.
Yep. Tristana and Victor being picked up, actually. So some good damage coming out in the team fights for these guys. Once they get there for TDK, it's going to be difficult to find those fights, though. Shields, heals, and peels coming from that composition. What does TSM decide to round out theirs with now? A lot of utility, a lot of catch.
Yeah, if they end up going Twisted Fate, so Twisted Fate has ridiculous late game single target and AoE damage, but early and mid game is completely focused around picks, which would be a decent strategy for TSM. It's just not the Azir type team fighting team you'd expect early. Their team fight is okay because of Sivir, but like we said, their late game damage is very lacking. It is a team that can really set up for TF though. Every lane has strong amounts of CC. What are they going to go with here? The troll lust boy. There we go. High damage mid laner.
Yep.
The highest damage mid laner.
The highest of all right now. Saw Inox actually not win last game, but still have the highest amount of damage at just about 19,000. See if Bjergsen can get going well in the early. We saw an Ahri versus Azrael matchup last time. This is a Victor versus Azrael. Should be a little bit easier for Bjergsen to stay out of the kill range here within the fights. 30 seconds on the clock. As it ticks down, we're going to see Seraph take that Lulu towards the top lane for himself. And Dyrus on that Nautilus. See where these plays come from those 2 lanes. It's going to be an interesting one here. Team Dragon Knights, does their team continue? They said they could go on to win 8 games. It's going to be a very tall task.
Yeah. So looking at the numbers, if TDK wants to make playoffs, they have to win between 7 and 9 games. So either 100% win rate or very close to 100% win rate.
It's going to be very tough.
Yeah.
Not an easy task for these guys, especially now that they're kind of learning how to play together. We heard how frustrated Emperor was in the dealings before he was able to get here, just hearing the team's problems and not being able to help adjust with them. Now, they seem to do a little bit, at least writing those, see if they can continue to work together as a team. Now it's your chance to vote for the winning team. Tweet at LOL Esports, either hashtag TDK win or hashtag TSM win as we get into the game. Everybody's getting back to their seats as well as we get ready for this one. We're going to be going into game 2. Happy 4th of July once more, everybody. Make sure to set off some fireworks, but do it safely if you're doing it. TDK versus Team SoloMid. I love you too. Let's get on the Rift.
All right, what would normally be a top of the table versus bottom of the table expected easy win for TSM now has a lot of drama behind it here. TDK looks so strong in their win against Team Dignitas, a completely new team with Emperor and Ninja, and also we get to see Keith's very first game on AD Carry. Not to mention Bjergsen's first play of Ezreal in the LCS mid lane with the new Runeglaive item, Dyrus' first Nautilus play. All types of intrigue here, Riv.
And speaking of Dyrus, Dyrus does say that TDK's roster is better late than never.
I think now that TDK has their full roster, they can now finally show NA what they're made of and that they're not a last place team. And so, although they're a little late, they still have a chance if they like end up steamrolling through some games and potentially like get into playoffs.
Unfortunately for Dyrus, the first game that TDK really want to steamroll is this one. Emperor says they could win them all with the momentum of this game if they were able to win it.
Yeah, and this is another one of these matchups actually in mid lane, since TSM is such a mid lane focused team, with Bjergsen actually doing 37% of the team's damage dealt to champions, which is the highest of any mid laner in the NALCS. It's difficult for them to have this Ezreal pick since it does kind of have to get pushed around in lane. The Victor should be very strong against this. You have to keep very large distances between yourself and Victor in fear of getting bursted out, since once again the Ezreal can't build magic resist and Victor shoves very quickly. So the control in the mid lane matchup should go to Ninja's Victor.
Here's his win against Dignitas. So he's playing that 2 times now. Definitely has the control over the mechanics. Hopefully it'll be just as good against Bjergsen. Like you were saying, Jat, that damage to the mid lane, very high. Or damage for the mid laners, this season I should say, very high on average. That's kind of suiting Bjergsen. He loves to carry, and if he can get champions, they're going to be doing the most, poking the most, and it works his way. Team SoloMid going to be having a good day. Let's see what happens. Another 2v2 game. Things not be as explosive in the beginning if they give each other that much respect as they did last game.
It's an incredibly similar start to last game.
Right, yeah,
both jungler top laners were doing the mini double jungle. It's actually pretty efficient. If you're just comparing it to when top laners would do their own camp with Smite or without, they're still getting the lane at level 2. They're also helping the jungler get through the jungle a little bit healthier and faster, because the top laner, since they're going to teleport back anyways, tanks the first camp or 2. So it can actually be, even though you're doing default lanes, a superior start depending on your jungler. Evelynn is one who does struggle a little bit in the early clear with health, so therefore Seraph tanking early will help Kez speed through the jungle. Look at that. Now double buffs with nearly full health thanks to the jungle share. Same with Santorin.
This is going to be Scuttle fun. Scuttle Crab. Who gets the Scuttle Grab, though? Oh, bottom lane. A little aggressive. Keith very, very close to a situation he does not want to be in. The Lantern goes back for a bit of a re-engage here, but there are no more auto attacks coming from Keith, and definitely a loss for that trade going inside of Team SoloMid. That was
immediately time to party in that bottom lane. Both summoners got burned from Keith there.
Just look at that.
They do not have ward coverage for the Evelynn, nor do they have jungle backup.
Oh, no!
He missed it!
Oh, that wasn't so smoothie. Not really.
So what happened there is Smoothie was trying to flash headbutt pulverize combo.
But
the trick with headbutt pulverize is if you are not in range to do your headbutt, you will pulverize the ground and not headbutt anything. So when he flashed in, Keith was back just far enough to not be in headbutt range.
You just look like a really angry cow.
That was a kill. That was absolutely a kill. If Smoothie gets a little bit more distance in the brush before he decides to go for the flash kill, they completely have him. They really want to try and put Keith behind early here. But without the flash, the threat is completely diminished. Big missed opportunity there for TDK.
Unfortunate. Nothing Lustboy would have been able to do, and they're actually trying to focus Keith now. The new member of the team moved in. That's the one they wanted, but can it hold him the whole time? He actually got a really nice spell shield on the majority of that damage. Is it a finalizer? The bomb goes off from explosive shot, and they take down Keith first. They came back for a rinse and repeat there.
Wow, they absolutely did. All of that was based off of Emperor's and Smoothie's early lane aggression when they could burn both summoners at level 2, especially when you have a gank-heavy jungler like Eve who needs the early ganks to succeed. It's just so beneficial. That was basically the third try, if we think about all the times guys rotated around, but that one ultimately is successful. And now we get to see if Emperor can press that advantage in the lane.
This is also going to press Lustboy. It costs him a little bit more to start investing in pink wards, the rest of the team, that is, to make sure Kez can't get any more of these lanes snowballed. Flash blown there by Seraph in the top lane. Kez was also flash blown in the bot for that kill, so they may not have the pressure they want to keep that going. But it's a good start. They have what they wanted in that sense. Dyrus here able to clean up the wave and push it out, and you can see the stats between the week 3 matchup of these teams at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty close game for a lot of it. People expected TSM to close out TDK much faster. Nice spell shield there by Keith. Smoothie was trying to gain the range by headbutting a minion and then pulverizing. Yeah, Emperor,
not a bad start.
With enough gold to go back for a BF sword, so he will have the item edge on Keith when he gets back.
Yep. Cleans it up nice, and he's just about 50 CS, or if you get a kill, he'll be nicely getting that earlier. So he comes back to lane happy, safe with Rocket Jump, even though his summoners are down, as well as Smoothie on a very aggressive Alistar right now. So Keith's going to have to deal with that pickaxe for the time being. Down in CS, but he has what will match it pretty much coming up in front of him. As long as Emperor and Smoothie keep it up, they'll keep the lead in that lane. You see that Ninja's gone back, got an upgrade for his items to the Sheen of Bjergsen in that mid.
This bottom lane's in a really uncomfortable situation right now, because normally when you're playing Sivir, you want to shove in and get back as quickly as possible. But against the Evelynn, they don't want to shove in. So they were being very hesitant with pushing that lane in. Therefore, they're either going to give up a little bit of farm and Sivir's lane advantage and get poked onto the turret, or they will be vulnerable to these Kez ganks. Kez knows they are vulnerable to these ganks. There are no pinks in the lane either. So Kez did get spotted there. Nice check by Lustboy.
Very close. I was wondering.
He got spotted. I saw the explanation mark. There were no pings. Maybe he wasn't.
They're playing it very, very safe. They're not even moving up for the CS.
I feel like they must have seen him. Centaurn and Dyrus invading straight into the jungle. Yeah, pretty sure Kez was seen.
There's a thing towards the top side. Seraph wants to say something about this, and it looks like they'll just get a timer on it. Oh no, that's enough. The rotation from Ninja out of lane there. They don't have any vision on him actually, so they're not sure where Victor is or where Kez is after his bottom lane roam there.
And I think most importantly, Bjergsen has no lane pressure with the Ezreal versus Victor matchup. He's been keeping up in CS very well, which is a testament to his CSing abilities, but there's just no way for Ezreal to win that matchup without ganks.
No. Missed.
Nice pull by Kez. Yeah, really smart pull there by Kez.
That is the real leash. Make it around. All right, let's see if he's actually just going to let this one farm out. Ooh, didn't see that.
Bjergsen misses the CS.
He is
more at 11.
Ninja not missing very many. These guys only one apart right now as the 8.5-minute wave meets up in the mid lane. Kez back towards the bottom possibly once again. They definitely have the timers on Keith with that flash back up, so why not get it down once again?
Yeah. What we just saw right there by Ninja, though, as soon as he hit 1,000 gold, he upgraded his Hex Core once. He hit another 1,000 gold, upgraded it again. He's looking to be very aggressive against Bjergsen, which is absolutely the right call on Victor. You can see once you upgrade your death rate, even at level 7, you can clear pretty much the whole wave with it, which just keeps Bjergsen at the turret non-stop. When he goes to get blue buff, he loses CS. Now that he's upgraded his Q on Victor as well, he will be able to get move speed even off a minion just to walk into trade range with Bjergsen. It's going to make life very difficult until Bjergsen gets a few more items.
So it was very hard last game in that mid lane. Could not get the Ezreal going. See if Bjergsen has a better chance here. Few Mias around the map. Something that interested me out of TSM's last video was that Wild Turtle would call the Mias from backs. Anybody backed, that was a Mia. If it was a Mia from lane, that was Lust Boy. Did those calls go on Keith now, or does the team kind of take an extra burden, albeit small, but still have to reorganize a few of the strategies there?
They want the AD carries to be swappable. They need to keep the same responsibilities on both sides. Ninja was coming down for the double roam. Kez hadn't been spotted, so maybe this is a false sense of security for Lust Boy. Kez still not spotted.
Squeaking by perfectly. Denying the vision. Pie to the face. Over the shoulder is Smoothie right in the Kez. They like that early Dragon Vision, though. Even from Complexity and other teams, Kez was always one to set that up, and he will keep it true along here with TDK. Mid lane, looking for a bit of love if Ninja even takes one step out of place here. Oh, that could be the one. Doesn't look like they want it just enough. Whoops!
And the wave is gone. Welcome to Victor mid lane.
The unexpected dodge is the hardest one for someone to hit. It's like, I got him, he's not going anywhere. Simply just walk out. Keith, however, the bot. Very close dark passage. Lust Boy is actually just going to walk back around to help.
If he can
may
make
get
it,
caught,
he's
though,
getting cut off.
There in the river. He is getting snuck up on here. Nice throw to ground. Flashes right over.
But now, there's a little bit more to worry about. Keith was able to clear the wave, though, so they cannot dive him. This should lead to a TDK Dragon, however. TSM still farming. One thing about the top lane Nautilus is you kind of want to gank for him. He has such good gank assistance. But Santorin and Darius have just not been able to close anything on Seraph, barely getting a CS advantage on that. But maybe they take the turret in trade for this Dragon.
Nice plays going on right now by enemy, or TDK I should say. They are now going for Dragon, and they are going to be able to back up with this. So Kez is able to secure that very nicely. And the movements of TDK here, usually the movements of Lust Boy on Team SoloMid, going around, warding, getting hooks for Bjergsen in the mid lane, but he's been in that bottom lane trying to help keep him safe. Not as easy as it usually is for these guys. We'll see how they not have to play from behind, but now have to play knowing that TDK is not afraid with this new roster.
Yeah, how good is this new TDK roster is going to be the question. Continues to be. They're staying toe-to-toe with TSM, but we also have to remember that TSM is very much focused around what Bjergsen can do. He is the shot caller for the team as well as the primary damage dealer, and he has picked a champion that is fairly weak for the first 20 minutes of the game and then turns on once he gets his second major item, whether it be Deathcap or Luden's Echo. TSM is holding even in gold, down one Dragon with a decent amount of turret damage in the top lane. So even though it is very close and that's not what you expect from a last place first place matchup, we'll see what happens when we hit 20 and 30 minutes.
But that hold, I feel, as you were talking about, or I should say, and that hold is something that TSM, I feel, does better than anybody else. They can know that things are going wrong and completely stall it out. Stop it, bring the game 15 minutes later, and then win a team fight like nothing was ever wrong.
Yeah, that's what they did against Team 8. They had a terrible turret dive early game, led to their largest gold deficit at 10 minutes of the split, and then they were able to close out the game. Now, of course, that is against Team 8. Against better teams, you're not able to do that.
Yep.
This one hasn't been any large mistakes by TSM. TDK has been playing very clean game. Kez, a high priority on the bottom lane, but that priority hasn't been punished by ganks anywhere else because Seraph has been playing very safe and Ninja has been shoving very efficiently. It's going to be a really interesting game as they get more into it, since the first bit has just been this passive farm fest and then kind of feeling each other out.
Chat, no one ever takes the lantern. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Just take it.
We need more signs on it. Maybe some particle spam. Anyway, we'll see what happens with the rest of this game. Maybe somebody will take a lantern. We haven't seen these guys in the top lane too much. 101 to 112. Whoa, Emperor going hard here. I was actually just about to talk about this guy. The focus to him to get him kill #1 in the game, and he uses that already. Guy looks like Uzi here on Tristana, jumping in, diving at people. But he's doing his own thing.
Yeah,
he's Emperor.
They're really trying to punish every time Keith pushes the wave on Sivir, which is exactly what Sivir wants to do. It puts him in this lose-lose situation. But the CS is still very close. It's only led to one Dragon. TDK, if they want to truly punish that, they're going to have to either deny CS, kill Keith repetitively, or kill the turret. So now we might see a bit of a shove. And that damage is starting to come through.
Oh boy, don't stand there. Oh, flashes out. Oh, the Chaos Storm goes down. Bjergsen gets baited into the trap.
Man, what a nice collapse there by the rest of TDK. Smoothie gets the flash headbutt pulverized combo. This time it gives the second kill of the game to TDK. It also leads to a turret. And with Bjergsen down, that could also be the mid turret because it was very low. This could be a swing for TDK to have a big lead in this game.
Really nice play by them there. Had me off guard. I was tunneled into Ninja's making a mistake. And I have full vision of the mini-map. He knew what he was doing. Lustboy can't defend it enough, unfortunately. Turret goes down 2-0 now for TDK, and they have granted themselves a 2,000 gold lead.
Yeah, so it started off Bjergsen landing all of his poke on a Ninja.
He did.
As soon as he channels it,
nicely.
Great flash by Ninja, and then also Bjergsen missed his Q. He missed his Q on what was essentially a stationary target. Maybe he was expecting a juke, but a small misplay by Bjergsen at the end there.
Yeah.
And because he channeled his ultimate, it gave collapse time for Smoothie and Kez to go and get him. What a sweet play by Ninja and TDK in the mid lane there to turn it around.
Really working together across the board and helping everybody to get some kill participation in the game right now. First one was bot, next one was mid, and Kez has been a part of both so far. 15.5 minutes in, Dragon 1 has already gone over to TDK, and we have a minute and a half left on the next one. Kez and the team have already put a litter of wards down there in that area. Keeping very nice deep wards to make sure TSM can't get back in. But Lustboy's on the roam now. We'll see if any plays can be made due to that. Any hooks to get them back in the game. That's some good burst.
Yeah.
He carries a swap back to the top side now. Looks like we might actually get ourselves a fight here.
Yeah, interesting. They're going to have to shove that wave off as well as they can. Tristanic takes turrets down so very quickly. See, look at that. Even with the Sivir to wave clear, that one wave takes nearly half the turret.
Do-si-do in the mid lane here. These two are dancing back and forth. Bjergsen just off to the right side of your screen in that instance. We saw Ninja. And he has a flash down. He's got to be very careful about how he roams right now, especially with that blue buff. I'm sure Bjergsen wants that very bad, and he actually might get himself a blue buff. This could, Bjergsen actually jumped away from that quite quickly, knowing that Ninja could kill him, and very well so. Ninja could absolutely kill two members of their team. Kaz a little too deep now, takes a hit from Bjergsen. They're going to have to focus this one. The damage trade not so much going in their favor anymore, but wow. Ninja with the fancy V, depth charge, can't let him do much. The shield coming in from Seraph to save his life by the skin of his teeth, and he goes down for it. Very, very low on the side of Santorin. Could still go down. I don't know if we're done just yet, chat.
There's no turret, but yeah, we're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Jeez. Right. The fancy footwork there by Ninja at the start. Double teleport in. Ultimately at the end, it's the Nautilus ultimate that secures the kill for Bjergsen. It's like a small misstep. Ninja shouldn't have been up that far, but then he almost turns it into an outplay.
Oh boy.
And they are way in enemy lines.
That's pretty disrespectful. You do not back in Team SoloMid's jungle when you don't have vision of Team SoloMid. A big mistake here from TDK. Did they use summoners? They tried to use a few summoners to get out of that as well, so that's gonna hurt. It is a dragon, but dragon's not gold.
Yeah,
just stats.
I'm wondering exactly how they got there. They definitely didn't expect to have 4 members of Team SoloMid there, but even so, getting the kill onto Keith and then being able to take the dragon isn't actually that terrible of a scenario for getting caught out like that.
In the end, right.
That was close.
It's when you think it's the first guy, but it's really the second.
Yeah.
Wow. We've seen that before, for sure.
Near miss on that rocket. This is turning into a very good game. 18 minutes gold is still close. We thought that TSM was going to be a little bit low on damage, but with Bjergsen being 2-1, his Ezreal damage will be the brunt of it. So much of this game will turn into whether or not TDK can assassinate Bjergsen in teamfights. They don't have the greatest close on him. They don't have the Nautilus Alistair or like a Nidalee Spear or an Ahri, like all the things that we saw Team Impulse have against Inox's Ezreal. But they do have Ninja, who if he gets in range of Bjergsen, should be able to burst him down. And also there's the whole rotational game, which is what this game is mostly about. especially with Sivir trying to wave clear on TSM's side, getting caught out in a few instances, versus TDK with Trist, who just excels at taking down turrets quickly. This should be another one for TDK.
Yep. Water bomb, boom. Takes it down, easy peasy coming in right now for the outer ring of turrets on the side of TDK. TSM's looking to drop the outer one and that middle turret. Ninja's been doing a great job keeping this wave pushed, albeit against Bjergsen's Ezreal. Still hasn't been able to do much. True shot barrages as they come up, go across the mid wave. Also fight it through the jungle a little bit, get some shot maybe on vision on what's going on there.
Yeah, could this be a miracle game for TDK? A miracle season, starting 0-9, and then running the table back off. It would be pretty impressive if they could take down Team Dignitas and TSM back-to-back #1 in the standings teams in the LCS. But this is approaching the power spike for mid lane Ezreal.
I'm glad we get TSM as their second game because it will for sure show us where that meter stands. That's a big boomerang going back across. Kez gets hit up and blasted out as well from the fight. Santorin's trying to back up with the rest of the team. Now Ninja comes in. Chaos Storm on the entire team, but he gets deleted immediately. Can't be a frontline victor for very long.
Yeah, can't walk straight into a Mystic Shot and an Essence Flux near the end of a fight. You will get killed with skill shots. They need the Alistar to block if Ninja is going to make a play like that. So, bit of a mid-game turn here. Bjergsen down his burst, though. Take a lantern.
Rocket. It's going to blow up. It can take him down. The burn is still on. He lives from all of the extra DPS and dot damage coming through.
Wow. By the skin of his teeth, he gets away, and now he'll go back and pick up his Luden's Echo, nearly overstaying right there. He is getting quite powerful, though, as we can see. 3 kills, exactly the last person you want to have those kills. The main damage dealer for TSM. Whew. In general, and especially in this game.
Went down to 16 HP there.
Oh my.
That's close.
It's like one more tick.
Yeah, tick of anything is going to kill you. Emperor moving down the bot lane. He has been aggressive by himself. Saw him go a few times 1v1 versus Keith in the bot lane, now pushing up quite hard. He had the help of Seraph just a second ago, and now only 1 ward. So he's got to back off. Knowing their safety, though, still keeping in this game very well from that. Not getting taken down easily by Bjergsen's pickoffs or getting caught anywhere around the map. Team SoloMid were at one point down for 2K, but that was only a few minutes. They've now taken the lead by 600 gold, and look to even up that last turret in the bottom lane here. Might get that push in finally, and Dragon's about to come up, so time to set this all up. Yeah, to get a push on mid lane, shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, the gold is even, TDK up 2 dragons to 0 though, so one of the big win conditions for TDK here will be to control the dragon. It's just going to be very difficult against the poke and the initiation potential of TSM. As far as TSM's ability to start fights, it is exceptional. Sivir ult, Auto Assault, Grog Assault, just to get everyone in there and keep them there. Teamfights will be very dependent on Kez's ability to flank to get onto Bjergsen, but also on Smoothie's ability to tank and be a bodyguard with his damage reduction for all the skill shots that Bjergsen will be throwing out. Keith has been mostly a non-factor this game outside of his ultimate. He's been the target of much of TDK's focus.
Few bits of damage on the turret. TDK able to get back into position easily enough for this one, but Team SoloMid is now trying to dictate the game fully. Oh, Ninja half health is going to make these fights almost impossible to start on. We saw it just took a Q and an Essence Flux in the last fight from this amount of HP to take him down. And now TDK is walking on thin ice. It's turned into hot nails. It's not going to get any easier. Lustboy, however, going down, cools things up a bit. And it looks like Ninja now trying to get on the run. He dodges out of Centaur body slam. Amazing. Ninja's been doing it all game with the fancy footwork. Chaos Storm just about stops as it has nobody else to chase. Dyrus looks to go down here. He gets stunned up one time after the other. Emperor a little too close to the fire that time. Bjergsen with not enough mana to complete this. Even with that Elixir of Sorcery on, the damage is going to be big, but not enough to win the fight, and he is forced off. TDK winning one in their own jungle.
The movement
of
Ninja has been so clutch in some instances. Lichbane for move speed as well as 2 upgrades on his Hex Core really gives him the ability to juke spells, but he also has to have the mechanics to do so. Let's see if he jukes this one.
I thought he was going to walk into it. He knows what he's doing.
He got to see it with the minions, so he had some reaction time.
Right.
Really impressive. And Emperor actually picks up 2 kills despite TDK getting caught out of position, so some amazing plays there by TDK. Also, the only one who's really doing damage for TSM is Bjergsen. Keith is so far behind and constantly getting low or zeroed out at the start of fights. And because of that little skirmish, it's now Dragon number 3 for TDK, which is a pretty scary prospect if you're TSM.
Wow. TDK doing well to get to their 3rd aspect of the Dragon for the season here. Could work out for them.
Yeah. So Kez completely caught out here by Dyrus. Let's see how he ends up escaping. See, no one is there really for damage. Keith throws a boomerang blade in and that's it. And here, it's smoothly blocking. So Ezreal cannot shoot through him. The Qs barely do anything. Therefore, and Keith is around the other side. Ooh. Keith was chasing a dream instead of going after Ninja right here. Therefore, it's TDK that actually has the better coordination in these team fights. It's a very chaotic jungle team fight, but they are the ones with target focus. Ooh. And they narrowly escape in so many instances.
Headless. Well, hopefully they can do away with the narrow escaping and the fight winning. It's going to be very hard if everybody's walking away with slivers of health to push any of these turrets. And the game is going to only go later and later where TSM has the better fight mechanics. I think still a pretty unknown TDK roster once these two have been put on the team.
Yeah, the gold.
Definitely different power coming out of the AD carry for what Latman is to Emperor.
Yeah, oh, much different. Emperor is a huge upgrade over Latman. He had such a carry performance on Sivir against Team Dignitas, and he needs to have a carry performance here on Tristana, having 80% of the team's kills. Meanwhile, though, this will be heavily about the scaling of Bjergsen's Ezreal. 60% of Emperor's health with 1 ultimate, and it's not even a max rank ultimate yet. That could very well be the difference in this game.
Bjergsen's using that really, really well. That pink ward before as well, he tried to hit 2 to 3 people. It's like you're getting a Caitlyn shot that nobody can heal on multiple members of the team. And he's doing it from really far away when they're grouped up around clearing a ward and they think they're safe. And it's always helping them to get the aggression on these fights. If they get in place in time.
Oh, but this is the danger!
Everybody's healed up now. It's not always going to work when you get close. That's exactly when it starts to sting, and Bjergsen figures that out.
Ninja could have
to back off.
Ninja could have killed him right there.
Emperor, boy!
Jumps into a hook. Lust Boy says, oh, and now Dyrus with the flank. This is bad for TDK.
Dyrus is right in the middle of the fray. Gets a good slay on, or slow, I should say. And it looks like Smoothie's going to be the only one to go down. The rest of the team's able to disengage. That could have been a lot worse for TDK if they tried to stay and fight, but they knew Emperor's mistake cost them very big, and it's going to continue to cost them.
Back-to-back mistakes by the 2 newest members of TDK. Ninja does not cast his ultimate immediately on Bjergsen. That could have killed him. Then Emperor jumps into a threshold. Beautiful play by Lustboy to turn that one around. But now TSM trying to use this window to take full control of the game.
Kez just on the outside. The pink ward's there. He cannot even get close without being seen. Baron still pretty low. 3,300 health on that. They're going to be forced to peel off. They throw down a little bit of movement speed. Nice shot coming out, taking down Ninja. We're going to see Seraph going down as well. Kez is going to get hit. The Baron doing a lot of damage. Dyrus just gets out. And it looks like TSM pulls off very nicely. Keith was lost in the battle. And Emperor, he's going to try to clean up some scraps here and see what he can do.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit too late to the
so
party.
Much chaos in these fights.
Oh, is there ever chaos in this game? TDK stops the Baron, which is very important, but ultimately they give up even more kills to Bjergsen. 7-1 on perhaps the most powerful champion on this patch in mid lane Ezreal. He is going to have off-the-charts damage to champions when we look at this game in the end. And he's got all of the core items right now for AP Ezreal. Next up should probably be Void Staff. Good lord.
So we've had the good Ezreal game and the not so good Ezreal game. Still both doing a ton of damage, but you see now how much control it puts on the map. Bjergsen almost being able to zero out Kaz, Emperor, and Ninja. Seraph with those shields, been able to stave off a bit of the damage we see in the fights, but Bjergsen keeping that 37% damage dealt by his team number on the up.
Ridiculous Ezreal right now. I went back and watched Ninja's possible 100 to 0. It wasn't as obvious of an ultimate as I first thought. Basically, Bjergsen shifted as soon as he saw the damage, so Ninja didn't want to use his ultimate on a target that could shift away like that. Plus, there's the cast time of his Q and the time to get the auto off, in which Ninja cannot use his ultimate. So the window was very, very slim to get him down. I still think he could have done it after watching, but could have gone either way. Even so, that the respect has to be given.
So what you're saying is you would have hit it. No, I'm just kidding.
He may have been able to, just not 100%.
Little bit of tension now surrounding the dragon. 5 seconds till that spawns. 6 to 9. Very slow game in terms of kills and teams trying to be in each other's face here. A lot of warding has kept the team safe, but the fights, when they happen, quite volatile. And Bjergsen is dishing out the damage. True Shot will be down for this one, but they have the pressure, the front tank line, this Nautilus in the top lane. It will provide a little bit, especially with Santorin being tanky in this game as well, not that carry jungler.
Yeah, the engage potential is what keeps TDK away from that dragon. They've lost a bit of control of this map. Ninja with the Lichbane, by the way, is going for the one-shot build. When he completes Death Cap, he should probably be able to kill Bjergsen with a QE and an auto attack. So basically the same combo that nearly killed him before will kill him later.
Dyrus could get the Dark Passage. He cannot actually reach it. Oh, he gets it just the last second. He will stay alive. Wow, what a play. Lust Boy keeping it there, not running away and saying, buddy, you're going to make it. Don't worry about it. TDK probably not happy with that one. Didn't waste too much. That was one ultimate, I believe. No summoners, so they're good to go. Just Emperor's Buster Shot.
Yeah, the tankiest person on TSM right there. Could not be killed in about 2 to 3 seconds. Seraph did use the polymorph there to try and keep him from going back. 2.25 seconds CC there.
The flash, got out.
Then got out of that, could use a shield and click the lantern, so barely able to survive.
A lot of those almost kills happening. And a lot of almost kills can make you play differently as well. Go a little bit farther for one, get yourself into a bad spot. Hopefully TDK does not fall into that. Ninja back with blue. We saw him lose this almost quite quick previously when he got it. Not as much pressure this time, so it looks like they'll be able to get this off in a fight. True Shot Barrage, blind out mid lane. Oh, baby! I felt that one over here. Whew. Yeah, he doesn't even want to back in vision of anything. He says, actually, you know what? That True Shot Barrage might be up again. I'm going to move.
Just an absurd amount of damage at this point. So True Shot Barrage has fall-off damage the more units it goes through, but since Ninja was at the very front of that True Shot Barrage, he got hit for the full brunt of the damage.
Right. It was about 1,400.
Then also the Luden's Echo.
Pepanero was right. It hurts.
Oh yeah.
Very, very smart man. Having a very Pepanero-esque game here. Bjergsen carrying from 7-1-0 this game. Has already broken 300, looking at now 50 CS and just a few more. And has quite the lead on his lane. They go again onto Dyrus immediately with really out any way to get to the back side of the team. Bjergsen has time to fire from the back line. True Shot Barrage goes off, hits Seraph, and all the crowd control's done. DPS is ready to roam free now, and where does it decide to go? Shot still onto Dyrus. Ninja finally takes him down, and they are focusing very well. Keith is forced to the back line. Kaz might not be in a bad spot for a Lust Boy hook here. That's Bjergsen coming through with the Arcane Shift. And a lot of the poke these teams are able to deliver, especially Ninja's laser, trying to be avoided by both TDK and TSM.
Very mechanically intense fights here because we have multiple glass cannons in this game. Bjergsen, I call a glass cannon, as well as Ninja. They're kind of trying to one-shot each other. Then there's also Emperor, who is the main damage source from TDK, who is getting heavily focused by TSM CC. Grog Assault, Nautilus Assault, and Thresholds are all targeting him. But he is able to stay alive. It costs him both his summoners and a recall. So fascinating team fights right here. Everyone's really fast as well. Move speed items being built up by Ninja. Lulu on the side of TDK to speed people up, plus the Sivir on the side of TSM. So a lot of potential for mechanics to be displayed in this in these team fight environments.
I'm excited. We definitely have a lot more time to go in this game. Baron, something that needs to happen. Waves need to be cleared. But let's take a look at this fight right here.
Yeah.
That just happened.
It is a little curious that they keep going on to Dyrus, but if they don't go on to Dyrus, they're letting TSM dictate the initiation. Notice how Emperor gets pretty much knocked around at the side of this fight, and Bjergsen's always looking for Seraph. Look at that flash. Look at the reaction time to be able to get out of there. And then Keith still not being that huge of a factor.
Yeah, Keith, he was
stunning
right
himself,
on the edge of the gravity field.
Stunning himself on the gravity field. Needs to be able to stay on the outside and not put himself at that risk. But once again, a lot of things just zoning people out this game, whether it's the Victor who now has the death cap. This is Bjergsen is sitting on, he does have magic resist blue, so it's not quite as bad as before with just 30 MR. I think Kez knows they're in there, TSM. They're trying to sneak this. This is Kez being bold.
3,700 HP. He's going to be walked out on that one. Whoa, Smoothie tried to go hard on Dyrus there for a quick second. Actually looks like he got hooked in by Dyrus, I should say, and then took some extra damage from the team. That was not a TDK initiation. But they did want to disengage, and they make their way to mid lane. Good line of wards from each team, letting everybody know what the direction is of the enemy. Right now, it looks like more pressure back onto the Baron pit. If they can hide in here and get at least the initial engage, TDK feels like it's what's going to win it.
They have to be so careful about eating an Ezreal ultimate in this open area. One Ezreal ultimate will be half of its health.
Oh, they don't want it. That's the ult from Keith. That's the ult from Bjergsen. Little bit of scratchy comms there. Niner, miscommunication.
That's a lot burned by TSM, and they needed to save those things. TSM already had a giant wave building in the bottom lane, so if they would have held on to their ultimates, they could have pressured Baron with those for a potential fight.
Yeah,
Since now Emperor is now free to go take that wave, instead of having Seraph having to go down there and burn his teleport, because TSM is not going to contest a Baron, being down Sivir and Ezreal ultimate.
It's working out for Emperor. Last time he went down here to clean a wave, Dyrus was here as well, moving well off the ball and figuring out where TSM is. Now have them into the mid position. This is the fight where TDK has that choke for the gravity field. Choke for the laser. A lot of damage can come out here for them, but Bjergsen also looking to utilize that true shot barrage in an area just like this. They stay safe. Dragon's going to be pulled out here. See if they can entice TDK into something that falls in favor of TSM. Kez almost wants it. Staying just out of range. Not
really in position for a fight.
They see him now. That's the Agony's Embrace going down. Not too much damage from the True Shot Barrage, hitting Kez first and not really anybody else. Dragon goes down. Emperor keeps his eyes on the prize. Necessary. And they are at 4. They're looking for Aspect to the Dragon and one more. They could have it, but TSM did stick their foot in the door, and it looks like they're trying to fit their whole body in here. It could be a Baron attempt.
Clever rotations across the board here. TDK sneaking the Dragon, but they had to rotate down below because they couldn't run through TSM. Rush the Baron is the call for TSM. TDK trying to make it back in time.
This isn't even a 50-50 smite with Kez gone. They knew
health,
that's the guy that was gone. 1,500 on the Baron. Can Smoothie do anything? He goes in. No, it's going over to Santorin. Smoothie very low. Unbreakable Will goes on, and TSM really don't have a focus yet. Kez tries to dive to his team. Very nicely played by him. TSM is forced to run into the entire squad of TDK now. They're going to lose blue, and now they have to stop TSM from pushing them in with Baron.
So much move speed being
it's like the
used.
Blue, not safe enough.
Someone is low enough to die here.
Oh.
That was not the person low enough to die. It was Kez, but he still takes Seraph down. He'll go back anyways.
You know what? You almost weren't wrong.
Yeah. One of these days, we'll see you guys roll all one shot.
So,
yeah,
little late on the Baron. These guys are definitely pressuring each other, as you see on the stats, but what a game so far.
It has been incredibly competitive. Bjergsen going for Spell Vamp now as the last item in the Ezreal build. No Zonias, no magic resist. Instead, just a little bit of healing.
So that in the end with his Azir too.
He loves doing this.
Stay in the fight a little bit longer. I'm sure that TDK would love to have some sort of those items as well, losing half their HP from a True Shot Barrage. Bjergsen looking like he might want to try to fire one across the team from the side. More so keeping it safe and placing some wards down for the team. True Shot Barrage almost up as they approach now the inner second tier turret. That's the support. Guy's pretty healthy, but doesn't have too much magic resistance. Super
pivotal point in the game right now, because if TSM were to win a team fight in the landslide, with the Baron minions, it would be easy for them to end the game. But we're also late enough in that if they over-aggress and TDK gets a wipe, they can counter-push and probably get an inhibitor. The main thing TSM wants to do here is play it safe with the Ezreal poke, not fully engage, and get these outer turrets down for a gold advantage for the later fights.
Oh, Dyrus being annoying on Nautilus. anchor toss away if he even tried to go hard on him, but he is working the split push for the team here as TSM stays back in the mid lane. Dyrus still focusing on the bottom turret, and now this is where we could actually see this TDK team start to fall apart when they don't definitively have a lead. They have to shot call from behind in the organization. They have not, or in a part where they haven't organized enough to do that over and over.
Oh, he wants Bjergsen. He knows his arcane shift is down. He was trying for the one shot, but he missed him. Flash away from Bjergsen.
Might have just cost himself the life. Wild Growth goes out, Boomerang goes across, True Shot Barrage for the finish. So many things that can come across to kill you. Ninja goes down, Smoothie goes down, and like you said, Jad, I was only going to take one good fight. TSM could have that Nexus.
Yeah, Ninja and Smoothie down. Baron buff still on TSM, all 5 members, but no super minions right here. Just a 3-wave minion in here.
It's true.
They're definitely going for it, though. Not much damage up on TDK.
Emperor is still there, could put out some good shots, and they, on the side of Team SoloMid, are going to have to respect this. Backing out for now. Where do they decide to go? And it does not look like they're going too far. They're actually going to start walking down towards the bottom lane.
Yeah, Bjergsen.
Baron just wore off as well.
Yeah, it was an over-aggressive play by Ninja, but I know what he was thinking. No arcane shift on Bjergsen. Wasn't respecting Bjergsen's ability to flash away. He cannot get the Lichbane proc off, which is what he would have needed to kill Bjergsen. It ends up turning around and being a huge cost to the rest of TDK.
Whoa, whoa.
Nice damage from Emperor, though. The Lulu on top of the Trist is huge.
Do anything to really stop the damage on the turret. That means it'll be whittled down one time after another. As TDK hope to be able to stop this. Back to the mid lane, doing everything they can as a team here to get these waves pushed out. 8,000 gold down now. Once TSM takes that lead, they do not let go. And Bjergsen in the mid lane is completely carrying this game for the team. Everybody's been able to participate in these kills at the end.
So to be fair, the team comp was built around this.
Oh, for sure.
It's a ton of utility, and then just having all of your damage on the mid laner. So it is fortuitous that he was able to get the last turn on those champion kills, and has now maxed up his item build with a Hex Tech Gunblade, by the way. I like it. I like the choice. Gives him an active.
Yeah, good. So it's pretty much Ninja chases him with Ghost again. He can just pop him in the face with that.
That's the hope. If he doesn't get one shot. A Banshee's Veil also would have been a good choice.
Yeah,
to
that
make
was
the one shot not possible.
That was the way of Emperor. He felt that was necessary.
Yeah.
Not too much magic resistance all around, really. They said, hey, get the Aegis out, we'll be all right with that. But it still stings a lot. And there's not much you can really do past an Aegis, especially when you're trying to get the items that equal the damage of the team you're fighting. So being behind here really, really hurting, especially with Bjergsen's Ezreal being so strong.
Oh dear.
Hot damn.
And with Dragon up for 33 seconds, that may prevent TDK from getting Dragon number 5. Home guard teleport coming in for Dyrus. They want the game now.
Oh.
Not giving him time to recall.
Pops all the Banshee's Veils. If there were any, Emperor goes down first. That's the Trist. It's going to be Ninja next. Does he go down? No.
Ignite.
Actually stays alive. Gets the shield coming in from the Lulu. Seraph able to keep him there, but Smoothie was already too deep. Team SoloMid grabbing everything they want right now and slowly making their way across the map. No need for them to push, they say. So let's grab Dragon, get our waves pushed, and we'll do this fundamentals.
You can just see the power of the True Shot Barrage and why this AP Ezreal will just gain so much prominence, I think, in the future, because every 60 seconds or less, because that's the cooldown of True Shot Barrage, and you can reduce it. You can reduce it when he lands movement, Mystic Shot. Every time he uses that, it has the opportunity to swing the game. It just has to land on someone, and it basically forces a recall right away, which is what TSM used to pick up the Dragon there. I mean, just the one. There goes Ninja's health. Now, he's going for the one-shot build. No magic resist on him either. Seraph just having the Athene, so of course going to do a bit more. Then Dyrus just comes in, knowing that they're going to try and recall. Forces the fight when TSM has a huge advantage. Lustboy does go down, but they pick up kills onto Emperor and nearly onto Ninja, if not for that Seraph Shield. If that Seraph Shield didn't come in, TSM may have just pushed down mid lane with super minions and won right there.
Simple plays from TSM. That nice ward that was placed down by Krugs, placed inside the jungle camp, as you would do an Eve, the one giving Dyrus that spot to get in. So still trying to keep eyes on Kaz, and it actually turned out to be the way that they get a very nice win in the fight. 11 seconds on to Baron. I'm sure TDK is going to be pushed up against the ropes on this one. Team SoloMid already taking full control with pink and vision wards in that area. See if TDK can make TSM march to the beat of their own drum, though. It does look like they're trying to make a team move here.
Yeah.
Maybe just to clear wards. They definitely need the team, however, to do that. Dyrus so big.
He is a rock right now.
You would hope that, well, I guess the Blade of the Rune King isn't finished. I was going to say you'd hope that Emperor would be at least chunking him a little bit. So there's a good dodge.
Ezreal misses. That's pretty critical for this upcoming engagement with Baron being live. So TDK almost wants to fight right away, knowing that Ezreal is down. A lot of tension right here. Dyrus is so hard to kill. He's got a 700 health self shield, as well as 320 armor. It's all about the peel.
Right into the fight, pulverized right onto Santorin. They push Keith back into the pit. Baron actually has stopped aggro though. And it does not look like he'll take any damage. Ninja a little far forward, gets knocked back as well. Who is going to be winning this fight? Lost Boy goes right in with the Righteous Glory, plays everybody backwards. Is it in range for Team SoloMid to keep the fight going though? Kez can't get in range, neither can Seraph. And it's only Smoothie that's gone down in the initial fight right when they engaged.
Ninja flashed into that fight, unable to find a one-shot of any kind. And yeah, TSM has such an edge on this. This Baron is theirs.
Has no flash, no range. The 50-50 is not a chance for the Evelyn to come up and smite. And Baron once again goes over to Team SoloMid, the second of the game. Aspect of the Dragon still looming here for TDK. If they can get that right timer, though, it will really be a game changer and something that could turn the game on its head.
Yeah, it's actually true. Bjergsen has been item capped for a while now.
Right,
So he's not getting any stronger. Meanwhile, Banshee spells are being completed across the TDK carries, which will really diminish his threat on Ezreal. But that last fight was an example of kind of how strong TSM is.
Yeah, still.
Able to do still a lot of damage.
When they get capped out on items, they return to mechanics to make things work.
Yeah. So here is the defining moment of the game. Baron buff for TSM, looking to make a final push, re-hitting that mid inhibitor. You really have to pay attention to the next True Shot Barrage. If it lands, it allows TSM to probably take down 2 inhibitors, just the poker one, if it lands on a carry. But that's why it's so important for Ninja to finish his Banshee's Veil, so that poke can't be a possibility.
Damage sources right now. Emperor being shut down by these frozen hearts, really hurting them. And they don't have anybody in the fight for longer than a few seconds to get those cooldowns off. That aspect, though, moving quite strong against TSM here. A lot of options for TSM to disengage and re-engage with the Talisman, Ascension, and Righteous Glory. Both built up here by Lost Boy this game. Another Righteous Glory as well on Santorin for the double engage. Here it looks like they want to go for the inhibitor right in the front. TDK cannot do much about it.
Yep.
No, they can't stay long, though. No reason to. Use these Baroned up minions, get a push down. 1 minute and 30 left on that Dragon. It's probably the #1 thing on the plate, other than guarding their inhibitor turrets.
Yeah, this inhibitor is a big defense opportunity. With 2 inhibitors down, they wouldn't be able to contest the 5th Dragon, but if they can somehow hold this, they would be able to. They can't allow free time for TSM. Ninja dodges the poke, but then needs a Q. And another one. See you later, inhibitor.
Not something that can happen. They're like Nidalee Spears coming across, but almost more painful. You can get hit at any range, and it's still going to do a huge amount of damage.
Yeah.
It's like all the fancy footwork was used by Ninja earlier, and Bjergsen has an eagle eye right now to hit these late game shots. We're coming up on 50 minutes in the game. Mental and physical prowess definitely trying to come through here for both teams. And another blue over to Bjergsen. Not going to be good for the health bars of TDK. 30 seconds on that Dragon, and TSM is even pulling TDK to the top side of the map.
Yeah, maybe they don't even think about this Dragon. They threaten a 3rd inhibitor right away while they still have this Baron buff. Thinking about this True Shot Barrage, Riv, it's a bit ridiculous on this AP Ezreal right now. It's like a Nidalee Spear, but it's global, and it's the width of 10 Nidalee Spears. What are you going to do about that? Attempt to flank before he can ult is apparently the name of the game. Last attempt for a team fight.
Yeah.
TDK has to go. Ninja's flash is now up. So he wants to flash onto Bjergsen, but Bjergsen can always counter with a flash of his own.
Kez
And TSM has such a front line with Dyrus right now that
Are they ready,
can't
though?
get through.
They
just
want
can't get
TSM
through.
to engage. Kez coming from the back line. Agony's embrace on the full team. TDK got everything they wanted. Bjergsen down for 77 seconds. Dyrus in the middle. Backside is Keith. He's not able to put out the DPS. There's the Zanyas from Seraph. Keith could go down. He gets over the wall, flashed and bumped. And it looks like he will be able to get out, but what do TDK get from this? Aspect, they could go right for it. The fight, it's still theirs. Dyrus goes down and he's not BMing any longer in that fight. 15 to 10, 50 minutes just crest the clock. And TDK are gonna pick up Aspect. Maybe with the trouble of Keith.
Maybe. There's 2 waves of super minions right now and only 2 down for TSM, but TDK lost their Smite and Kez. This fight is probably gonna continue. Keith, because he flashed over the wall and got Buster shotted over another. Otherwise, he was dead for sure.
Yeah, that or butt.
TDK, they have the Triss to defend, and they have 3 members to go for this versus 3 members defending for TSM. This is interesting.
Comms must be chaos right now. Obviously controlled, but hold it, take it, hold it, take it. Both teams playing for safety
Not
here.
willing to
But
commit.
TDK, this is their dream to get Aspect of the Dragon. It would easily start to allow them to push back towards Team SoloMid, but they're taking way too much time. You're gonna get the respawn, you're gonna get True Shot Barrage in a fight you don't want.
TDK wants 4 people here, so much so that they sent Seraph back to move speed Emperor towards the Dragon. He went all the way to red buff to meet him here. Here comes the True Shot Barrage.
Across
Will
the
it steal?
entire team.
Woo!
It's very nicely done. Overbound
They're gonna get it
Emperor.
though. Smite away!
You gotta be kidding me. Santorin comes up huge. Aspect is stopped. That is a complete game changer. TDK almost had the means to get into the base of Team SoloMid, but they once again stopped that fate.
Not entirely sure what the full plan for TDK was there because they did not have a smite at the Dragon, and Santorin was not pushed off by any abilities. Emperor could have ulted him away while trying to finish it, but they did not. And they may lose there.
They had to bite the bullet. That's the only time they're not going to have this. Minion waves flooding into the base. Things that they have on their plate for multitasking. All they had was Dragon and a fight.
Aspect of the Dragon would have been so huge, and TDK was so close to being able to get that. I feel like when the Ezreal ult came through, there was a little bit of panic in the TDK camp. Emperor got so low, he didn't want to walk towards the Gragas to ult him away. But now, they're still in the same situation because they didn't get Aspect. So all of the catches, the flashes they expended to get to Bjergsen are spent. They did not get an advantage off of that. They prolonged the game, but they couldn't get Aspect. Same game again here. Try and kill the Bjergsen, but this time they do not have flash on Alistar and they do not have flash on Ninja. Bonus though, Bjergsen doesn't have flash either.
The thing Team SoloMid do have is a pink ward behind them though. Trial and error.
That's useful.
That is very useful. They almost got engaged on the exact same way just now, but they stave it off. And Kez is actually going to be forced to run the long way around here as the bottom lane being cleared out by Sarah. So Team SoloMid getting the wards in place that actually cost them a lot of time in the base of TDK. That 5th Dragon, though.
They're going to get the inhibitor response. So what is happening with this interaction?
It's
because
visual.
His Banshee's Veil is on him.
It's been on him since he was actually hit at the turret. So
okay.
It's coming up, but staying on visually. Kind of like a lot of relics hanging out on Smoothie or something next to each other. Going in for the fight. Very close for Keith, but he is able to get himself out nicely.
Yeah, and this is a big fight at the Baron area. Smoothie trying to tank up with Alistar, but that ult's going to run out any second now.
Looking for the DPS. Smoothie's taking about 100% now of his health, and nobody on Team SoloMid even took a shot over the wall. They all focused the cow, and the rest of TDK ran away. Seraph's already gone down. Ninja gets grabbed. What a hook from Bjergsen to keep the fight going. Kaz is actually big enough to take down Bjergsen. That's a lot of damage to keep the fight going, but with Keith, they can still drop the turrets, and the rest of the team, TSM should be able to move into the base.
4 strong. And Emperor plus Kez the only defenders. This is a tall task with all of the CC that can fly through from Lustboy to stop this one. Do they go for the game? They need the minion wave to arrive. It will be there in time before TDK respawns.
So right now you can actually see Emperor's Banshee's Veil coming back up, but the visual is that it is on him.
TDK
now
needs to kill Keith, otherwise this game is over.
That's one Nexus turret. 54 minutes in, TSM actually had their backs against the ropes a few times in this one, but they are able to stomp their foot down one last time. That's going to be Emperor where he doesn't want to be. Team SoloMid struggle a little bit with the middle game, but are able to come out with a victory. 20-11 in kills, 54 minutes in, and Team SoloMid take down TDK.
What a crazy game that was, Riv. TDK putting up their best fight, but ultimately they can't take down Team SoloMid and that ridiculous Ezreal build.
Whew.
Almost overtaking Pepinero. 62,500 damage dealt the champions by Bjergsen in that game. There was 48,000 by the Victor for Ninja. A few narrow misses of trying to kill him instantly. Bit of a difficult loss for TDK to take.
Yeah, especially with the amount of wins they need, and seeing that this would have been the top team. The momentum in itself out of this game win would have been huge for the solidified roster of TDK. Still, this should be a huge game for them to look at. Played very well against the top team in the league, and ultimately faltered where the top team in the league has won most of their games.
Yeah, in the
Towards the late game.
What a ridiculous match that was.
Two of them starting off
Yeah.
4th of July weekend. Very nicely done. Bjergsen bringing out the Ezreal. We've seen two of it today so far. No bans all the way through. Maybe a third game here, putting out even the most damage in losses.
So, as far as checking in on the pregame storylines, how good is TDK going to be with the substitutes? Well, not substitutes, with their full roster.
Full roster, right?
Very, very good. They nearly took down TSM. How was Keith going to do in his first game? Well, he got punished really heavily by Kez and the aggressiveness